What I'm about to share with you has the potential to completely transform how you experience your life. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. This isn't about working harder or making more money or achieving some huge goal. This is about something much deeper, something that once you truly understand it, you'll never see yourself or the world the same way again. And the best part? You don't need anything outside of yourself to make this shift happen. No special tools, no expensive courses, just awareness, just presence, just truth. So let me ask you a question that might stop you in your tracks. Do you actually know who you are? I'm not talking about your name or your job title or what people call you. I'm asking something much more fundamental. Who are you really? Think about it for a second. When you say things like, this is my house, this is my car, this is my job, this is my body, these are my thoughts, you're using the word my, and every time you say my, you're implying ownership. You're implying that there's something that owns those things. My house, my car, my body, my mind. So if all of those things belong to you, then who is the you that owns them? Stay with me here because this is where it gets interesting. Most of us walk through life thinking that we are our body and our mind combined. We think that's the totality of who we are. I am my thoughts, I am my emotions, I am my physical form. But if that's true, then why do you refer to them as my body and my thoughts? You don't say I am body, you say my body. You don't say I am thought, you say my thought. So there must be something deeper, something prior to all of that, something that exists before the body, before the mind, before the labels and identities you've wrapped yourself in. And that something is the real you, the observer, the awareness, the consciousness that's experiencing all of this. Let me give you a simple example to make this even clearer. Imagine you're watching a movie on a screen. You can see the characters, you can follow the story, you can feel emotions about what's happening, but you are not the movie. You are the one watching it. In the same way, you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the one experiencing your emotions. You are not even your body. You are the consciousness inhabiting and animating that body. And once you realize this, once you truly feel this distinction, everything changes. Drop a comment below right now and tell me what time it is where you are and what city you're watching from. I'd love to know who's on this journey with me today. Now I know this might sound a little abstract or philosophical at first. And maybe you're thinking, okay, but how does this actually help me in real life? How does this make my problems go away? Here's how. When you realize that you are not your body or your mind, you also realize that nothing in this world can truly harm the real you. People can harm your body, yes. People can say things that disturb your mind, absolutely. But the essence of who you are, that pure consciousness, that awareness, cannot be touched by anything external. It's untouchable, it's unchanging, it's eternal. Think about all the things you stress about on a daily basis. Your job, your bank account, what people think of you, whether you're successful enough, whether you're attractive enough, whether you're doing enough. All of that stress comes from identifying too strongly with things that are temporary. You think you are your job, so losing it feels like losing yourself. You think you are your bank account, so being broke feels like being worthless. You think you are other people's opinions, so criticism feels like an attack on your very existence. But none of that is actually you. Those are just temporary experiences passing through your awareness. They come and they go. But you, the real you, remain. Let me share something with you that really puts this into perspective. I want you to dedicate just half a day to really contemplate this question. Who am I? Not in a surface level way, but deeply. Sit with it, meditate on it, journal about it. Ask yourself over and over again, who is the me that owns this body? Who is the me that experiences these thoughts? Who is the me that feels these emotions? I'm telling you right now, if you genuinely do this exercise with honesty and openness, something inside you will shift. And for many people, this shift changes everything. Because when you start to see yourself clearly, when you start to realize that you are not this fragile, limited, temporary form, but rather the infinite awareness experiencing it all, suddenly life becomes so much lighter. You can still pursue the same goals. You can still work hard, you can still love people and build things and chase dreams, but there's a completely different energy behind it. There's a lightness, a freedom, a peace that wasn't there before, because you're no longer doing it from a place of lack or fear or desperation. You're doing it from a place of fullness, from a place of knowing that no matter what happens, the core of who you are cannot be diminished. Think about it this way. There is nothing in this entire world that you could buy, achieve, or attain that could elevate your true being. There's no car fancy enough, no house big enough, no amount of money large enough, no relationship perfect enough to make you more than you already are. And in the exact same way, there is nothing that can be taken away from you that could reduce who you truly are. You are already complete. You are already whole. You are already enough. Not because of what you do or what you have, but because of what you are. Now let's bring this into the real world for a second. Look at places like Dubai or any other city built on luxury and wealth. For years, people thought that was the ultimate. If you could just get there, if you could just afford that lifestyle, then you'd finally be happy. Then you'd finally feel safe and secure. But recent events have shown something very clearly. All of that luxury, all of that wealth, all of those material things mean absolutely nothing if you don't feel safe. Safety is the foundation, and no amount of money can guarantee safety. No amount of possessions can protect you from the unpredictability of life. So what happens when people realize that? What happens when the illusion of control starts crumbling? Their minds collapse because they built their entire sense of identity and security on things that were never stable to begin with. They attached their worth to their wealth. They attached their peace to their possessions. And when those things are threatened, they have nothing left to stand on. But if you understand who you truly are, if you know that your essence cannot be touched by external circumstances, then even in the middle of chaos, you remain grounded, you remain calm, you remain free. This is what it means to walk through life with a sense of acceptance, not passive resignation, but deep understanding. Understanding that whatever happens is simply what's happening. It's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It just is. And your job isn't to control every outcome or prevent every problem. Your job is to stay connected to the part of you that observes it all without being destroyed by it. Because here's the truth. This world we live in is both heaven and hell at the same time. It's not two separate places. It's the same place experienced through different states of mind. For someone who is trapped in fear, anxiety, and identification with temporary things, this world feels like hell. Every day is a struggle. Every challenge feels unbearable. Every loss feels devastating. But for someone who understands their true nature, who lives from a place of awareness and presence, this same world becomes heaven. Not because everything is perfect, but because they're no longer dependent on things being perfect to feel peace. They've found the peace within themselves, and that peace doesn't fluctuate based on circumstances. So how do you know if you're living in heaven or hell? Ask yourself this simple question. Is this a life I would want to repeat? If someone asked you right now, would you be okay living this exact same life over and over again for eternity? What would your answer be? If your answer is no, if the thought of repeating your current experience makes you feel dread or sadness, then you're probably living in a hellish state. Not because your circumstances are terrible, but because your mind is creating suffering. On the other hand, if your answer is yes, if you feel a sense of gratitude and peace about your life as it is right now, then you're already tasting heaven. You've found that inner state that doesn't depend on externals. And here's what's beautiful about this. You don't need to wait for your life to change to experience heaven. You don't need to wait until you have more money or a better job or a perfect relationship. You can experience it right now by simply shifting your perspective, by realizing who you truly are, by letting go of the false identifications that have been weighing you down. This isn't about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about understanding that the real you, the aware presence inside, is untouched by those problems. You can address challenges, you can work towards solutions, but you do it from a place of calm strength instead of frantic fear. I want to be really clear about something. This realization doesn't make you cold or detached or indifferent. It actually makes you more compassionate, more present, more loving. Because when you're not constantly worried about protecting your fragile ego or defending your temporary identity, you have so much more energy to give to others. You stop taking things personally. You stop getting offended so easily. You stop needing to be right all the time. And in that space, real connection becomes possible. Real love becomes possible. Real peace becomes possible. So what does this mean practically for your life today? It means you stop placing your happiness in things that can be taken away. It means you stop measuring your worth by external achievements. It means you stop letting other people's opinions dictate how you feel about yourself. It means you start living from the inside out instead of the outside in. And when you do that, life doesn't necessarily get easier, but it definitely gets lighter. The weight lifts, the pressure fades, the anxiety loosens its grip, because you're no longer carrying the burden of trying to be something you're not. You're simply being what you've always been, pure awareness, having a temporary human experience. Now, I'm not saying you'll figure all of this out overnight. This is deep work. This is lifelong work. But even just beginning to ask the question, who am I, starts the process. Even just beginning to observe your thoughts instead of believing every single one of them creates space. Even just beginning to notice that you are not your emotions, but the one experiencing them brings relief. And over time, as you continue this practice, as you continue returning to this awareness, you'll notice that life starts feeling different. Not because everything around you changed, but because you changed. You woke up. You remembered who you are. So here's my challenge for you today. Take some time, even just 30 minutes, and sit quietly with this question. Who am I? Don't rush to answer it. Don't try to figure it out intellectually. Just sit with it. Let it sink in. Let it work on you. And notice what comes up. Notice the thoughts. Notice the resistance. Notice the moments of clarity. Because in those moments, you're touching something real, something true, something that's been there all along, just waiting for you to notice it. And as you go through your day, practice observing yourself. When you say, my body, pause and ask, who is the me that owns this body? When you say, my thoughts, pause and ask, who is thinking? When you feel stressed or anxious, pause and ask, who is feeling this? You'll start to notice a gap, a space between the experience and the experiencer, and in that space is your freedom. In that space is your peace. In that space is the lightness you've been searching for your whole life. Because here's the ultimate truth. You are not a human being trying to have a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And once you really get that, once you feel it in your bones, everything shifts. The heaviness dissolves. The fear loses its power. And life, with all its chaos and beauty and pain and joy, becomes something you can finally embrace fully. Not because it's perfect, but because you finally understand that the real you was never in danger to begin with. You are safe, you are whole, you are free, and you always have been. If this message resonated with you, if something inside you shifted even just a little bit, do me a favor and hit that like button so more people can find this, and subscribe to Buddhism Focus, because we're creating more content like this every week to help you wake up, let go, and live with more peace and presence. This is the work that matters. This is the journey worth taking. And I'm honored to walk it with you. See you in the next one.